Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on The Maker's Intent. I am your host, Mike Downer. I am here with Kyle Greenfield one more time. Kyle is the president of AF Johnson Millwork. How are we doing today, Kyle?
Doing great, Mike. Good to be here.
Good to talk to you again. So we got into retail a little bit last time.
Yep.
So this time we're going to be talking. We talked about how build identical structures and consistency and everything else. But now that that's all in place, what we're going to be talking about is how millwork can impact retail revenue. So, how does custom millwork directly impact retail conversion and customer behavior?
Well, there's a few different ways that I think it does, Mike. One of them is using the millwork to help showcase whatever they're selling. A lot of times when we're incorporating the lighting and things like that into it's really showing off the product.
Mm-hmm.
Another easy way is using the different pieces to guide people to where you want them to go in your retail space. In other words, sectioning off and getting them to go to look at what you want them to look at.
No, that makes sense. So, how does the science of customer behavior influence fixture design in retail environments?
Mike, it's a great question, and you probably need somebody a little smarter than me to answer it, but I can help a little bit in that the branding that the retail is going to use. Most of the time they want that experience to be the same for their customers no matter where they're at. So if you're on the West Coast or East Coast, they want that store to look pretty similar no matter where they're at. And that is a lot to do with what we build and what we design, and how the retailer is going to have their customers functioning with it.
No, that makes perfect sense because if I go into a big box store, we'll just leave it at that. And I always kind of want the same look, and I want things to be in a very close, if not same place. So, no, that makes complete sense. So, why is creating a branded in-store experience a competitive advantage for retailers?
Well, I think it can be a real advantage, especially when you are bringing joy to a customer. So they come into your establishment, they really like it, and it's a good experience for them. Makes them feel comfortable there. When they walk into the same brand in a completely different location, it gives them that familiar feeling again, almost
Yep.
like going back to see a friend. And they're already more excited to spend money with you because they feel good just walking in, and that's kind of fun
Yeah.
to get to be a part of.
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense. So this is probably always a fun one for you, and I know that your team always works with designers and all that good stuff. But how can fixture layout be used to guide customer flow and improve the shopping experience?
Well, a lot of times it's because it's real big and you can kind of force them to go around it or the direction you want them to go.
That's
Uh,
got to be fun designing that.
oh yeah, that can be a lot of fun, and also the different shapes and stuff that we can do if you putting pieces of desks or welcome areas at a different angle.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Then to normal construction, it can be a real conversation piece of how they do that, why they do that. Um, Believe it or not, some of the more unique pieces like that uh, come out of um, different, medical areas where they are really trying to stand out. Um, it's kind of amazing with some of the different angles that they want, and I don't necessarily think of that as retail, but they absolutely have a lot of customers coming in and they want to have a big first experience, a big bold statement, when their patients, their customers are coming in first.
Um, yeah, no, that makes complete sense. And the flow of traffic in a medical facility is I mean, it's detrimental. It really, you don't want people going the wrong way. So, no, that
Exactly.
makes complete sense. So why are major brands investing in custom millwork to stay competitive?
Well, I think it has to do with setting their brand apart from their nearest competitors. And uh, so many times in the retail world, we can start to associate brands with different colors, and that has a lot to do with the laminate choices and things like that that they're using in their millwork. It really, even without having their logos on stuff, just their color becomes such an important piece of it. And so we're building these custom pieces that don't look like something else. They look like their color and like their brand, and really can almost. I bet I could show you pictures of different ones, and you could tell me exactly what retail store they would go into just based on the colors of them.
I that would not. My wife probably could do that better than me, but I might be able to get a couple of them.
Yeah.
So, how does AF Johnson collaborate with designers to bring retail concepts to life?
Some of the more fun ones are when they kind of have a brand standard, um, a feeling of their brand, and then we can start to add to it. And we think we've used this product before, and we think it matches well, and that type of ad lib, um, and help them design something that really stands out, really separates their spaces from somebody else's. Um, it's a real fun when you can start to see a transition from updating brands. So if they have went one way and now they're just slightly changing it, that can be a lot of fun. Okay, we need to update this part of it and this part of it and this part of it in their stores, and kind of fun to pick it all out and see what it's going to look like before the rest of the world gets to.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm sure that with all your years of experience that you've had there, there's been some again recognizable things that maybe your designers and engineers have helped shift or changed with some
Absolutely.
bigger brands.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of times those brands want to constantly update their stores and their identities, so they have reasons to draw people back in, and
Yeah,
it's fun to be a part of.
yeah, that's awesome, and it's got to be kind of cool, especially when one of your people's walking around going, "Yeah, see that? That's me."
Exactly,
I
exactly,
mean, I'm that type of guy. If I walked, I'd be like, "Yeah, I did that." And
exactly.
there's 500 stores, so good bragging points. That's pretty cool. So
Absolutely.
what what measurable revenue impact can custom millwork have on a retail business?
Well, I think we talked about a number of different ways to use it, whether or
Yep,
not you're using the products to steer people through your stores in certain directions,
yep.
or if you're using the brands and the color palettes to really show off your brand again. So uh, I think a lot of ways we've already kind of answered that question a little bit, but
You bet.
it's really hard to nail down to just one or two things when we can light it up differently, when we can steer people through a certain way, we can really showcase individual products, and that's kind of some of the fun challenges. So anybody that is trying to figure out a different way to do it, we'd love to have a conversation. Go, what works? What are you trying to do? Showcase a new product, or give a customer a totally new experience, and it'll kind of shift the way that we're thinking about it and looking at it.
Perfect. So we've talked about this a little bit, but I'm gonna let you expand slightly on it. Um, so how do material choices help communicate the brand's identity and values?
I think there is just a almost an unlimited different number of ways there, but the different products that we use have a lot to do, especially on the higher end stuff. If you think of a fancy jewelry store, man, when you walk in there, they're using really shiny, and just feels expensive when you're walking in. You kind of know that you're going to spend a little bit extra a nice piece of jewelry or something like that. And I think the display is a big part of that. The way it's lit, the way it's finished, all has a lot to do with you knowing that you're going to spend a little bit more on that. And I think that's kind of fun to help build, help be a part
Oh,
of
I
it.
agree with you. It's not just jewelry, buddy. I mean, I'm married, and I tell you, I see some of these makeup stores that they definitely don't look like the makeup section at the big box store. I already know when my wife goes into one of those that it's break out the credit card.
And that is a good point. They have done a great job of making those feel a lot more luxurious and expensive.
Yeah, that and nail salons. Woo. So you can just tell. I can see your genius at work when I walk into places. So yeah, I do see how it can definitely help influence what your brain. It's like when you walk in, your brain already expects, well, it's going to be a little more money.
Exactly.
So that's the value of your work, which is incredible. So how can sustainability focused millwork serve as a powerful brand signal to customers?
I think there's a lot of cool ways that it can do it. Probably the easiest example that I have on a current project we're going on with is the end user purchased whole lot of recycled wood. And they knew it was going to be a big project, but they're using it for flooring and for millwork and building some giant doors out of them and stuff. So there's a lot of different trades on this particular project that are all using the same wood. And honestly, I don't know how old that one is, but 100 years old maybe. It's kind of cool that wood was all saved from a giant project and milled down, and now it's being reused and put back in, hopefully be there another 100 years. And I think that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and it definitely says something about their brand too, and on wanting to reuse and make sure that everybody knows that it's they're not they care and care about the environment and want to not just waste.
No, yeah, that's awesome. And the fact that you can be part of that is really cool as well. Even working with supplies that, a customer has steered you in that direction towards or bought or whatever, that says a lot about your business. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks, Mike.
So the last couple of podcasts have been focused on retail. I think we'll move in a little bit direction the next time, but I am looking forward to talking to you very soon here, Kyle. Maybe we can get into some discussion on maybe why, getting something done custom is better than, off the rack or whatever.
Sure. Sounds great.
All right. Sounds good. We'll talk about it and we'll get together soon.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you.